Chapter 1. Introduction to Strategic Management. The strategic management is defined as a set of decisions and actions that result in the formulation and implementation of plans designed to achieve a firm's objectives. Strategic management achieves a firm's success through integration of management, finance or accounting, research and development, marketing, production operations, marketing information system. The purpose of this strategic management is to exploit and create new and different opportunities for tomorrow. Long-range planning. This strategic management used synonymously with the term strategic planning, SP. Strategic planning originated in the 1950s and very popular between 1960s and 1970s. One way of thinking about strategic management is to classify the management focus into 3 stages of strategy. Stage 1, formulation. Stage 2, implementation. Stage 3, evaluation. In strategy formulation we have vision and mission, external opportunities and threats, internal strengths and weaknesses, long-term objectives, alternative strategies, strategy selection. Here we have strategy implementation. Firstly, establish annual objectives. Second point is devise policies. Third point is motivate employee. For the next one is allocate resources. All this thing be done so that formulated strategies can be executed. Strategy implementation, often called the action stage of strategic management. Implementing strategy means mobilizing employees to execute strategies. Considered as the most difficult stage, requires personnel discipline, commitment, and sacrifice. Successful strategy hinges upon managers' ability to motivate and influence. Strategy evaluation have internal review, external review, corrective actions, measuring performance. Strategy evaluation can lead to different assumption in the future. For example, subject to future modification, today's success no guarantee of future success. New and different problems, complacency leads to demise. Adapting to change. Strategic management process is based on the belief that organizations must monitor events. This are the few things need to be considered. Ongoing process, internal and external events. Timely changes can be made. There are 9 key terms concepts in strategic management. Competitive advantage, strategists, vision and mission statements, external opportunities and threats, internal strengths and weaknesses, long-term objectives, strategies, annual objectives, policies. Some concept is defined as this. Firstly, competitive advantage, anything that a firm does especially well compared to rival firms. Secondly, strategists, individuals responsible for the success or failure of an organization. Then, vision, what do we want to become? Next point is mission, it is a what is and how. And then we go to external opportunities and threats, for example, economic, social, cultural, demographic and environmental, political, legal and governmental, technological, competition, competitive trends and events. All of this concept either harm or benefit an organization in the future. Opportunities and threats. Strategy formulation divided into 2. 1. Take advantage of external opportunities. 2. Avoid or minimize impact of external threats. This is a basic tenet of strategic management. Strengths and weaknesses. Internal. This typically located in functional areas of the firm. Strategy formulation. Management, marketing, finance, accounting, production operations, research and development, computer information systems. Type of strategy. Long-term objectives. It means specific results that an organization seeks to achieve in pursuing its basic mission, more than 1 year. Strategies, means by which long-term objectives will be achieved. Annual objectives, short-term milestones that organizations must achieve to reach long-term objectives. Policies, means by which annual objectives will be achieved. Comprehensive strategic management model. Vision and mission. External audit, internal audit, long-term objectives, generate, evaluate, select strategies, Implement strategies. Measure and evaluate performance. Strategic management model. If we want to make the strategic model, we must ask these questions. Where are we now? Where do we want to go? How are we going to get there? Strategic management process is dynamic and continuous, typically more formal in larger and well-established organization. The benefit will divide it by two. Financial and non-financial. Financial, improvement in sales, profitability, productivity. Non-financial, improved understanding of competitors' strategies, enhanced awareness of threats, reduced resistance to change, enhanced problem prevention capabilities. These are the benefit according to the Greenlee principle. Identification of opportunities, objective view of management problems, improved coordination and control of activities, minimizes adverse conditions and changes, decisions that better support objectives, effective allocation of time and resources, internal communication among personnel, integration of individual behaviors, clarify individual responsibilities, encourage forward thinking, encourages favorable attitude toward change, provides discipline and formality to the management of the business. These are the reasons why some firms do no strategic planning. Poor reward structures, firefighting, waste of time, too expensive, laziness, content with success, fear of failure, overconfidence, prior bad experience, self-interest, fear of the unknown, suspicion. Approach to strategic management. Prescriptive. Strategic management focuses on how strategies should be developed. The prescriptive model is more top-down, based on SWOT analysis. Descriptive. Focuses on how strategies should be put into practice, more guided by experimenting with different methods to find solutions and learning from experience. These are some pitfalls when doing the strategic planning. Using strategic planning to gain control over decisions and resources. Doing strategic planning only to satisfy accreditation or regulatory requirements. Too hastily moving from mission development to strategy formulation. Failing to communicate the plan to employees. Making intuitive decisions that conflict with a formal plan. Top management not actively supporting the strategic planning process. Failing to use plans as a standard for measuring performance. Delegating planning to a planner rather than involving all managers. Failing to involve key employees in all phases of planning. Failing to create a collaborative climate supportive of change. Viewing planning as unnecessary or unimportant. Becoming so engrossed in current problems that insufficient or no planning is done. Being so formal in planning that flexibility and credibility are stifled. There are a few guidelines for effective strategic management. Should be a people process more than a paper process. Should be a learning process for all managers and employees. Should be words supported by numbers rather than numbers supported by words. Should be simple and non-routine. Should vary assignments, team memberships, meeting formats, and even the planning schedule. Should challenge the assumptions underlying the current corporate strategy. Should welcome bad news. Should welcome open-mindedness and a spirit of inquiry and learning. Should not be a bureaucratic mechanism. Should not become ritualistic, stilted, or orchestrated. Should not be too formal, predictable, or rigid. Should not contain jargon or arcane planning language. Should not be a formal system for control. Should not disregard qualitative information. Should not be controlled by technicians. Do not pursue too many strategies at once. Continually strengthen the good ethics is good business's policy. Here is what we can see in military strategy. The study of strategic management was formed on a strong military heritage. Strategy is the science of planning and directing large-scale military operations, aiming to position forces in the most advantageous position before engaging with the enemy. Derived from the Greek word strategos, refers to a military general and combines stratos, the army, and go, to lead. These are few similarities between business strategy and military strategy. To gain competitive advantage, use strengths to exploit competitors' weaknesses. If overall is wrong, ineffective, then all the efficiency in the world may not be enough to allow success. Accidental strategies are not a favored and happy result. Success is the result of continuous attention to changing external and internal conditions Formulation and implementation of insightful adaptations to external and internal conditions. Element of surprise provides great competitive advantages. Information systems that provide data on opponents' or competitors' strategies and resources are vitally important. Of course, there is difference between business and military strategy. Business strategy is formulated, implemented, and evaluated with an assumption of competition. Military strategy is based on an assumption of conflict. Integration. We must say that both business and military organizations must adapt to change and constantly improve to be successful. For example here, Napoleon won because his opponents were committed to the strategy, tactics, and organization of earlier wars. He lost against Wellington, Russians, and Spaniards because he used tried and true strategies against enemies who thought afresh, who were developing the strategies not of the last war, but of the next. Conclusion. All firms have strategy. All firms are heading somewhere. The strategic management process is becoming more widely used by all firms, nonprofit institutions, governmental organizations, and MNCs. The process of empowering managers and employees has almost limitless benefits. All organizations should take a proactive rather than a reactive approach. Should strive to influence, anticipate, and initiate rather than respond to events. Strategic management process represents a logical, systematic, and objective approach for determining an organization's future direction. People and organizations that plan ahead are more likely to achieve their objectives than those who do not plan at all. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Benjamin Franklin. Always focus on the front windshield and not the review mirror. Colin Powell. Thank you for all of your attention.